Hey there guys, it's Lee here. Welcome to iMindBlocks. So the other day I put out onto Twitter and the other sort of social media platforms that I use, and I just put out the question and asked if there was a micro mining device and it could do some basic mining and also staking, so you could use it for staking those and earn an income. And if this little device was low powered and didn't cost very much money, would you guys be interested? And a lot of people come back and said yes, they definitely would be interested. So I had really good positive feedback from lots of different sources, and overall it looked quite good. So this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about that device, what it exactly is, the kind of the performance expectations, some initial early tests, how much it costs and all that sort of stuff. So really this is kind of a project that I've been kind of working on the sidelines, and in this video I just sort of be sharing it with you guys. So let's take a look at further detail exactly what this is and what it's all about. Right, so this is the device itself. So this is no specialized piece of hardware. What it is a single board computer, and it's a Raspberry Pi Zero. This one is a W version, so it basically means it's got built-in Wi-Fi as well. So it's not exactly a specialist piece, it's not custom or anything like that, it's just a off-the-shelf part. You can see on the back, you've got the Raspberry logo and everything on the back there. So what I aim to do is, what I would like to do, should I say, is kind of put together a complete package, like an all-in-one sort of miner or staker, and just make it super easy and cheap for people to kind of get started with it. But this is the hardware that's kind of going to be running it, I expect. So you've got the main CPU, it's also got some memory built in as well. So it's a 1 gigahertz single core CPU, and it's only a 32-bit CPU as well. And it has 512 megabytes of RAM. So it's quite a low spec, low power device. Here, I'll just cover some of the ports and the features of it. You've got a micro SD card. So this is actually what it's going to be booting up from and running from. There's a micro HDMI port, a micro USB port, and there's another micro USB port which is used for powering the device. There's a header slot over here which is used for display, but we won't be using that. There's also what they call it, a GPIO header. We won't be using that either. On the reverse side, just kind of a plain PCB with nothing else that will be sort of used in terms of features and stuff. Like I say, it's also got built-in Wi-Fi, so that'll be how you get your internet connections. Just taking a look back a little bit. So as I said about the operating system that's going to be used for this, it will just boot off a micro SD card. So obviously something like this. This is a 32 gigabyte card. I'm not too sure exactly what size it will come with or what will be used. Probably more likely a 16 gigabyte card, depending on the pricing and all that sort of stuff. So that's what it would be provided with and boot off. So you basically just plugged it in. I've got a few other accessories here, kind of like a starter pack. There's a GPIO header that won't be used. A micro HDMI to like a full HDMI. So if you guys want to plug it into your TV or a monitor, this would be really quite useful. And there's also a micro USB to kind of a full USB. So if you want to plug in any USB devices, for example, maybe like a USB keyboard or something like that, these are probably going to be quite essential pieces. So I think the end product most likely would kind of include those if we get to that stage. So for a bit of comparison, I've got a Raspberry Pi. This one is a 3B+. If I just flip it over so you can kind of see the scale difference. And then we've got the Pi Zero. So you can see the difference there is quite a big difference. So this is a really tiny little device here. Also, just to mention as well, you can see this one has got a heatsink on the GPU. Actually, it's not GPU, it's the reverse side. One is the GPU and one is the CPU. I'm not sure which is which, to be honest, from memory. But I expect when this one, if we kind of get it into a production sort of phase, it will have a heatsink and probably also some sort of like casing, not like this, probably a lot more slimmer kind of version. So that's kind of what we're heading for. So we're tucked away under my desk now, and this is what it looks like with everything plugged in. So we've got a micro SD card plugged in. We've got a HDMI connector, a USB connector, which is really just for the USB keyboard, and also the power. It's worth pointing out that once you've gone through the initial configuration and set up the Wi-Fi and you're kind of what you want to mine, you're only going to need the SD card, which is going to be plugged in for your OS,
But just the power connector is going to be the only connector that needs to be plugged in. So these other, the HDMI and the USB connector, they can kind of come out of the equation, and you can kind of tuck it away neatly somewhere. Also, this is plugged into a USB like power adapter, but you could plug it from any USB port. It's really low powered, so any USB port should power it absolutely fine. So a lot of the other connectors and everything can go. Let's take a look at the screen now, and we can see exactly what that looks like.
Okay, so using the onboard HDMI, this is the screen itself or projected onto here. So you can see it's just like a main normal sort of a console, and you can log in, or it would be set to like an auto login. But another way to interact with it would be to use like a PuTTY or like SSH shell. So you can see it just boots up, and it's just like your normal kind of console display. And from this point, you would enter your commands and stuff. I think more so for more like a final sort of finished polished product, a lot of this will be sort of automated, and basically it boots up and goes straight into like a mining mode. But at the moment, this is really just all kind of development sort of phase. Okay, so just on the computer next to it, so this is a PuTTY SSH shell. So effectively, we just logged into the Pi 0, which is right next to us. So it's that machine or the machine that's under the desk, but we're just using this console. So if you've got like a laptop, or you can even do it on your phone and stuff like that, effectively you just connect to your local network, and then you're kind of interfacing with the device without needing to be actually on the device. So if we, I'll just kind of show you how the miner works. The end result will be a lot simpler, a lot less complicated, and kind of a lot of things will be done for you. But we just go into the miner folder, and I'll show you how it starts when it looks, when it mines Varium. So it's a CPU miner, the Varium CPU miner that we're going to be using, and it's the M3RD pool, just on one thread because we've only got one core. And it should go through and connect through to the pool and start mining. Okay, so this is the CPU miner mining Varium. So you can see it's picking up now, so 23.3, and according to my notes, that's actually about the best sort of performance at this initial stage. I've also got the Zero running with the CPU multi-miner. So what that means is that miner supports lots and lots of different algorithms. So this is the GitHub for the CPU miner multi. So you can see it supports, this miner effectively supports all of these different other algorithms. So there's lots and lots of different algorithms and coins that can be mined using this Pi 0 device and the final sort of mining product. So at the moment, I've been going through and kind of testing and benchmarking the various algorithms and kind of seeing what results you can get, and doing some other sort of tests, seeing exactly what works. I've tested like Daenerys, like Tribus coin. I've also had it mining on Raven and Pigeon coin and a few others as well. So so there's a lot more testing to be done, but we're making sort of pretty good progress. There's the XMRig or XMR sort of like stack sort of miner. I couldn't get that working at the moment in time. I really would like to get those running, because then it means you can mine a lot more Monero sort of based coins. Whereas this one, the CPU multi-miner supports like a lot of the older CryptoNote coins, which now are ASIC mineable. So I'd really like to get some more miners running with it. But for an early sort of start, I think we're quite good. Next up will be kind of the staking I'll talk about in just a second, and also the kind of the desktop kind of operations. So this is the monetary unit staking wallet. So you can see it's a full normal kind of desktop. So it's running the Raspbian Stretch desktop. So it's a full normal desktop. You've got a web browser, and here we've got a monetary unit staking wallet. So this is kind of what I would like to have running on the Zero. I've already done some basic tests, but having the desktop kind of interface running as well as the wallet isn't really practical at this point in time. So you're going to have to do some more testing there. I think most likely the any staking wallets are going to have to be run from a command line. So that obviously makes things a little bit more complicated for the end user in terms of getting setting up. So that's something that needs to be looked at in a little bit more detail. But this one, like I say, is running on a Raspberry Pi 3 B+. And it's got a bit more power than the Zero. So in this instance, it can work well, but you know, really for what we want to do, we want really a much lower power version of this. Okay guys, so what do you think? Interesting, not interesting? Let me know in the comments. If there's any particular coins that you would like to see mined with this device, you want to see some hash rates and benchmarks and stuff, let me know. Again, also, if there's any particular coins that you would like to see sort of staking on this device, or you've got particularly interesting things, let me know again, and I'll sort of can look into it for you. For the guys that are really interested in this product, probably the best way to kind of let me know and make me aware. And like I said, this product is most likely going to be going into development. At the moment, there's still quite a few more tests to do, just to confirm in exactly what it's capable of, and also price of like a package and all that sort of stuff. But if you are interested and you want to know sort of more about it and potentially maybe make an order or something like that, the best way to do that is to email me. So it's riskyfire2@gmail.com. Just shoot me a brief email. I'll put you on some kind of list. I won't spam you or anything like that, and I'll just follow up with you and let you know a little bit more about the project sort of details. The other thing is, if you are interested in this and want to sort of see more about this project, then again, let me know in the comments, and I'll kind of make more videos about the project in terms of deciding the price points and what accessories are going to go with it and all that sort of stuff. More the kind of, maybe more like the business kind of elements side of things, marketing, all that sort of stuff. I'm kind of maybe make like a mini series about this project. So there's a lot more work to do, but I just wanted to show you this very early development stage. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. I really would appreciate your feedback. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.